Hello everyone, welcome back to the Battlefield Siege Run. Here we have another Pauper video for you today. We are playing mono green counters. So I was very keen to see this. This was a 5-0 deck list in one of the deck dumps recently. And you know I've been brewing around green-white counters for a good while now. And I wanted to play green-white counters this week. But I saw this and I was like, let's play this first and see how it kind of gets along and how it works in the meta. And then we can tweak our green-white deck to make it feel pretty good. And I was really keen because before I didn't actually run any Contagious Vorax. So I wanted to try out this card with this other green stuff. But essentially, this deck I think went 5-0 because it's running Knight of Wundagore. So I played this card a little bit, but essentially it's from the new set Marvel. So when it enters or whenever you put a +1/+1 counter on another creature, put a counter on this creature. It only triggers once a turn, but that's kind of enough anyway. So the whole idea is you can kind of go like Experiment 1, turn 1, play the Knight on turn 2, gets a counter from the Evolve for the Experiment 1, gets a counter itself, it's a 3/2, and then you kind of progress from there. A really cool synergy is with the Aquastrand Spider. 4 feels like a lot, but with the Graft ability, when you play creatures that are not necessarily getting the counters, so like if you're playing a late stage Experiment 1 or a Skargan Pitskulk that's not getting counters early, you can graft onto that creature and then have the Knight of the Wundagore then do its business. So it's a good way to, I guess, facilitate Knight of Wundagore. So I do like that strategy a fair bit. Outside of that, it's actually running 4 of the Longstalk Brawl, so the fight spell that puts a counter and the gift, and also 4 of the Smell Fear. So it's really looking at targeting creature decks here. It's running some of the key cards that we were running before. So it's running the Thirsting Roots. It's running a couple Servant Scales with a split with the Skargan Pitskulk and the Sun Shower Druid. And yeah, of course, the Dusk Shell Crawler. I think this came out around just before when the Marvel Commander came out, or you couldn't really get too many Marvel Commander cards, which the Bushmaster is in, which I think this will slot well into the deck. So I'm curious to know how that one goes. And yeah, the sideboard's looking fairly good. I was a bit skeptical on the Snakes, Skin Veils. Everything kind of works fairly well together. It might be more for these Knight of the Wundagores to survive like Lightning Bolts and Lava Darts and stuff like that. But anyway, this is the core of the deck. I'm pretty keen to play it. If you do enjoy these videos, please feel free to like and subscribe. I do have memberships as well that you can help support me with if you would like. Also, the top level of my memberships, I will take a deck and take it through a league or take it through some matches and adjust it and update it for you if you would like. All right, without further ado, let's get into the first match. I'll see you there. All right, we're on the draw. We obviously can't keep this hand. We'll put it back. This hand's better. We'll keep. I'm going to put this down, and then we can play the Servant of the Scale into Knight of the Wundagore. That is going to be steep cost. We actually want to play this Druid instead because of the counters. It was more likely it was going to be better to play this Servant of the Scale because obviously you can just rebound stuff. Yeah, we're playing against Gates. Definitely a tall order here. I want to wait on that and see whether we really want to chime in with what have we. Especially just not good because of the counters, but I think let's attack for 1. This is like, I think generally a hard matchup because they got Prismatic Strands as well, and like they're just straight lifelink. They can kind of Voltron our stuff more. And I have a feeling this is going to get Thraven Charmed, but I think we have to play it here still. There's no much protection against it anyway. No plays. Normally they run Journey to Nowhere instead of Thraven Charm. Looks like a charm though. Feels like a charm. Walks like a charm. Yeah. Maybe we just ran into it too much. Maybe we should just attack and then play the two scales. Yeah, see, now I can just get in with the cat. Erase that cat a fair bunch. It's gonna be very hard to do that. Interesting that they did do that. We'll attack. We just get a clock going, and then at some point, depending on what they do, we'll do the we'll play a Longstalk Brawl, and then probably want our creature to die to it, and then just do a hung on the Howpack on something else, and then get in probably on the Sun Shower Druid. The other problem is as well is that they do let me just do it all now. So let's go 7 to the scale. And then we won't, because I actually want this to cook. They could, I guess, get a fish. You know what, let's just get the counter. We just diversify a little bit. We'll put the counter on there. You get the fish. And then we just put the hunger on that creature. There we go. And then we just get in. It's a very hard matchup though. Let's see what we want to bring in. Like relics are kind of good. That's why we diversified. So obviously hit that. So we can bring in Deglammers if we want to, but I don't think that that's going to be that good. I can see relics being good to handle that in prismatic strands. I think we do have to do that. They're really short on lands though, that's for sure. We could wait. Let's just attack. Let's just attack. Yeah. We are very lucky. They're not getting anything else going on just yet. No, thank you. I do not want to put a counter on their cat. Still no land. So this is like, I guess, our time to shine. Trample's huge. Let's play that. And honestly, I think we want to chuck them there so that doesn't get cooked. We don't want to graft. Nope. Diversifying the threats. Because they also, like, when decks run blink effects and they just return the journey, we get a skulk back as a 1-1, you know? It's just not that fun. See where the Bushmaster is good, though. Having Death Touch is definitely where we want to be. Well, there you go. We can attack with everything now. I do feel like they have... I kind of want to graft onto there, to be honest. Let's just attack with everything. It's probably the best place to start. Not you. You are an 0-3. Oh, they're just strandsing. Okay, fair enough. That will do it. We have 2 more turns to get through that. So if they start getting lands, we can be pretty cooked. I'm glad I didn't graft now. Otherwise we would have lost that creature. Now let's just play other creature. Nope. 7 cards in hand. It's a big yikes. With an Outlaw Medic, that makes things a lot harder. Definitely not. They can activate the strands again, get in some lifelink action. And all our removal, the problem with it is that there's sorcery speed. So we can't even do much from that end. We still have to attack, but they can double block now. Then we lose a creature, they gain 2 more life. Can't really attack with this experiment 1 either. Yeah, and then they just strands, I presume. Yeah. And the thing is, if they have like another one, yeah. So this is how this graft is. Like it doesn't do anything now. All right, they're on 8, a very healthy 8. That's what I mean. Like this matchup's hard because they've literally not drawn a land for like 8 turns, and we almost turn the corner, but like just a prismatic strand just absolutely cooks us. So you can bring in Deglammers if you really wanted to, but I don't think they're really worth it. I think we just bring in relics. I mean, that's not too bad. So we can play this. Proliferate. I think they have another strands though, which is brutal. Absolutely brutal. So first one on, last one off. Play that one. Evolve happens. I definitely do not want another land, so we'll do the thing, but we will proliferate. and then we'll attack with everything except for the crab. The power of prismatic strands. See how many prismatic strands we can get through, eh? At least nothing's getting cooked here. Like, we can just continue on a merry way. We can keep proliferating, maybe. The problem is they can probably get to a point where they can just make the Sacred Cat big again and then start getting in. I think we still just want to attack with everything. Well, almost everything. Force them to use the strands again. They continue to gain life. I'm probably just using the strands. I'm just wondering what they're trying to get to here, though. Using strands, that makes sense. And what, like a Thraben Charm as well? Or using a Heat Gate? Oh yeah, making a treasure. There's worse things that could have happened. I kind of just want to put the counter on this druid, because then it can get in. I'll pass. Alright, 2 strands down. Can they have more? That is the question. They have another gate. 1, 2, 3, 4. The little bit of me thinks they should just like pump up this gate, this cat. Wow, they're just accepting defeat. Okay, I'll take that. I will seriously take that. Relics come in. I'm a little bit not hot on these long stalks. Is probably what we're getting rid of here. Declaimers don't matter too much. Hunger of the Howpack's like good, but it's not as good with what we have going on. I guess they might block more with it though. Druid, I think they're all pretty important. I might cut some of the... Maybe it should still be the Smelfiers again because of the 2 mana, and if they just like cook us with a Thraben Charm or Prismatic Strands, it feels awful. And like the journeys, Deglamoring a journey to nowhere is not fun, because normally they've journeyed like a 5/5 or a 6/6. Alright, this hand's close if we had a forest, but we don't, so we will have to mulligan this. They mulliganed as well. This is still an unplayable hand, sadly. We just need like forest thirsting roots. So they're keeping now. Let's see what we draw. I think we have to keep this. We just keep a 1-drop heavy hand. So I probably want to keep this, this, and this. Or get rid of a hunger. Hopefully they don't leave with a Sacred Cat. No, that's good. Alright. So they're playing like the Naya version. Right. We'll just start with an experiment 1. And then playing a cat or a Ephemerate here is pretty cooked. But this means we can play Skagen Pit Skulk as a 2/2, which I kind of do want to do now. Stack for 1. I mean, we're very likely not going to win this game too, because we don't have the other land. We could try and drop this other experiment 1. And then if we draw a forest, we can go hunger on the one that survives. If they play a field medic. Double green for a rumble. Okay. Well, it kind of paid off, but again, we have 1 land, so we're kind of semi-cooked here. And I have land into Sacred Cat. Yeah, they're flashing back the Sacred Cat. Okay. A land would definitely be ideal. I like Longstalk rule more. Let's just go cast with gift and just have them fight. You can have a fish, and then we'll attack for 3. It'd be great with a forest in play, but alas, here we are. Or even just doing the hunger of the Howpack. I was going to say what plays we want, but honestly, we just need a forest, man. That's what we need. They're not drawing gate. They got 5 cards in hand. They definitely have strands in hand. They're not doing too much else. Probably have some very good reactive hands. 4 mana for Guardian. Okay. Like, it's not end of the world. I feel like we can get through a Guardian because we can go fairly wide and get everything into it as a 3/3. All Forest. We're a little bit late to the party, that's for sure. The problem is the Skagan Pit Sculpt does not work as well here. I'm tempted just to play the Servant of the Scale. Although that Skagan Skull Pit can get in. I think we're just playing the Servant of the Scale, to be honest. We could double kick in, but we lose our experiment one. We can lose both. It's a bit awkward, to be honest. A bit just low on these forests. I think we would be way better set up with the Skagan Pit Sculpt. Like, we just make that Skagan huge, you know? Alright, maybe we're bringing in Diglammers. Wonder if we can race this. Is that crazy? I think we need to use this hunger to get counters, though. Let's attack with these two. And we'll play 2 Skagan All Mates. And then if we play Contagious, Vorak, maybe. That's fine, we'll put a counter on. We'll just put a counter on this, to be honest. I mean, I don't think we can race this because we literally have they can quite easily have strands. I mean, this into this, and maybe with a Vorak, I feel we can a Vorak proliferating everything. Honestly, just equilibrium's the life gain, then we're just cranking him for damage. Now that's a problem. That is the problem. So maybe we cut. What do we cut? I mean, that just cooks us next turn. No way around that. We'll just concede. Let's go to a game number 3. Hopefully we just get our lands now this time. And let's I don't want too many Deglammers because it only really hits that. I don't run heaps and heaps of those. We're pretty cooked otherwise to it. We've got like 2 long stalks and call it a day. Let's try this. I don't love it though. I don't love running all these extra Deglammers. The deck is designed to beat our deck. We'll have to mull this one, sadly. This is keepable. They kept 7. Oh, I actually think we're bottoming that and trying to go faster and just going experiment 1 into Wondergore and into Spider. And just trying to get big enough, I think. I mean, Thirsting Roots is kind of nice. We'll play this. This knight can get pretty tasty, Then we can graft next and hopefully Thirsting Roots after that. And probably meant to hunger on their turn so we get another counter off this knight. Oh yeah. Just has lifelink. Is a good card. Let's play this and let's proliferate now, I think. I think it's the correct play. Go, and let's just soup up. And depending on what they play, we can cook them. I mean, this is 8, 9. I think 8. Yeah, they feel like they need to block that. Okay, alright. I mean, I'm pretty happy with where we are right now. 8, 11. Almost have lethal with this hunger if we were able to. Playing a Sacred Cat. Oh, so we actually do want to graft because it puts counters on this. So we'll play Experiment 1, graft onto there, and then put it onto there. Yes, please. It's a counter. And then, yeah, just attack with everything. Not lethal, but enough to kind of put them on the back step here. Again, they're just taking it as well. All right, well, they're on 8. I do kind of want to use this Hunger of the Howl pack on something. We get 3 then that way, which is what I like. It'd be 3 versus 2. Maybe we wait. I think we wait. There's that, so they can quite comfortably just play that and keep the strands up. Yeah, that's also what I was kind of worried about. And we have 7 here. No, we don't want to add any counters to that, please. So we can actually use this Howl pack. If they don't block, which they might not want to. Well, now they have to. Yeah, there you go. We got there eventually. I think, yeah, it was an interesting game. I don't think we were meant to really win there. All right, we're on the play. Let's see what we hit here. This is good. It's a little bit, yeah, it's still good. It's still good. We can double proliferate. Start with Ephemerate 1. Life's good. Life is good. And then Malta 6 as well. All right, we'll see how we go. Ideally, I want to draw Old Mate. It's a very good card. The new one, the villain. The villain on like that motorbike thingo. The joys of finding out what we're going to play against, eh? Alright, let's go Forest, Experiment 1. So double proliferate, I think it will pose very well as long as we draw a pretty decent threat. Like we have the crawler and we just put the counter on the crawler. Yeah, I think making it 1/4 will be good. The fact we can evolve it straight up, I think is nice, and then we can proliferate like crazy. Three Thirsting Roots is a bit how you going. We'll play this. We'll just put a counter on the Dust Shell, and then we get it for 2. Like we have to do it like this so we can actually use these Thirsting Roots, and hopefully they just tap out, do like a Flame Breather, and then we can literally, again, ideally, any ham sandwich of a creature, I'm happy. I think we can go absolutely nuts with 3 Thirsting Roots. All right, so they're just playing that version. Yeah, I honestly just want to take this. I don't want them to be able to bolt this Dusk Shell. All right, they're playing 2. I feel like we can outrace this. Well, that's a really cool. Yikes. We could triple proliferate. I mean, it is a lot of trample. I think we do it twice. What does trample actually? This is what, 7, and this will make it 9, so technically a 2-turn clock. All right, you got me. Let's just do it twice. Can't even Fire Blast it, you know. So this puts us out of Fire Blast range. This is like the best version of Stompy I've seen though. And they all got trample. All right, attack for 9. Here we go. Just take it. Just take it. There's such a cool picture. I know I should be thinking about the game, but that's just cool as. And where your mouse moves, it does something. That's cool as. If I had that, it'd be like ADHD brain. And I wouldn't want to do anything. I mean, what? And they attack with everything? They can't. Otherwise, they're cooked. Yeah, they keep 1 back. Okay, so it takes 6, go to 12. But again, if we draw another proliferate spell, they're cooked. Proliferate, not forest. Well, now I think we still attack with both. It's just more if they have 2 cards. If they bushwhack, it's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, and a bolt gets us. I think we just attack with the experiment 1. We just hold onto the forest. That's a bit unfortunate drawing that many forests. I guess if we attack, then the percussionist has to. But like, the percussionist can be a replaced creature as well. I think we're in the very much big of a realm that they can cook us next turn. So then being able to just block with the percussionist and get a creature is not good for us. I think we just want to block something and just hope. Hope to God it's enough. Yeah, see, they got Gal Blast. So they literally, if they have a have anything, which is crazy because like if we drew any kind of proliferate spell, I mean that's actually not that many cards we have. We have Smell Fears. It's got a Gal Blast their own creature, but they really need a Bushwhacker here that does it. They don't. They could have like just Bolt. Ooh, let's just block a Bushwhacker. And then we go to 5. They can just bolt us or Gal Blast us, and that's that. That's that, you know? Okay. They did have a bolt, 2 bolts. Alright, they did have 2 bolts. Alright. Very close game though. Very close game. There's the last 2 cards. And again, if we drew something, we probably would have been fine, but we're bringing Life Goes On. And that's about it from that point of view. I think we want to just cut the Aquastrade Spider. I don't think they're as good here. Everything else is very good. Like, we're going to be losing stuff. They're going to be losing stuff. The Snakes and Valves are a bit like, They might be bolting us, but I think that's fine. All right, let's run this back. Very close game. They literally needed the 2 bolts to do it, or a Gal Blast and a bolt. Well, I guess the Bushwhacker and a bolt. They had lots of good options. All right, sadly we have to mull this. Come on, deck. All right, this is good. This is good. We probably just want to cut. The Longsword Brawl's not as good as I'd want. The Longsword Brawl works with the Life Goes On, so I think actually, I mean, all of those work together, to be honest. But if they just bolt this, we're cooked. And I like the Duskshell Crawler as well. A 1/4 is just so strong. I think we're getting rid of this, to be honest. Because other creatures are going to go. Then we can go Frog. It's such a good blocker. And Duskshell Crawler is such a good blocker as well. And then depending on what they do. Like, we don't have to block with this Duskshell Crawler straight off the bat. Whoa, interesting. Okay. Alright, that's good. Let's attack for 1. I can imagine them just bolting this Duskshell Crawler, to be honest. And I feel like we can afford to be a little bit more defensive because we've got this Life Goes On. They can respond to this, which they might. They don't. Okay. This is kind of thing like when I was playing with Tribe Combo and then against Rally, we can really just get through. Like, a 1/4 is just so strong, you know what I mean? This feels a lot slower for them. Right, so now we obviously just do everything here. So I don't really want to. I think we just fight 1. Then we'll do Life Goes On. Then we'll attack. And I kind of just want to put it on the Crab. Because then we can attack with it every turn. That's all my stuff, opponent. I'm on 29. I have a 4/7 with Trample, and then hopefully that's enough. Makes you think they have some more Bushwhacker-esque. Yeah, getting in, fair enough. I still like our clock more though. Wondergore's nice. I think we're being... I'm happy to kind of just attack with this and then play the Wondergore. Because I absolutely feel a Bushwhacker coming in next turn. And then this can kind of make a crazy clock. Get a Proliferate or anything like that. Another rally. And how good a Rights be here? Just bolting the Druid. I get that. It's fair enough. 3, 4, 5, 6. Right now, I think we just see if they play Bushwhacker next turn, it's what 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. The double Bushwhacker doesn't get us. Well, that's just excellent. So let's just smell fear. So this onto there, and then Proliferate, and then this gets a counter. Dunzos. Not lethal, so I'm just still inclined to attack with the Crawler. No, I don't think they can. They literally need to go like that into a 5 blast. So if they go Bushwhacker, Bushwhacker, like Mountain, Bushwhacker, Bushwhacker, and they have 5 blast, it'll be 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. Yeah, let's not attack with this because this is like, if they do it like a triple Bushwhacker or a 5 blast, we're in trouble. Hopefully we can squeak this one out on the play, eh? Do a Ren's Resolve. I mean, that's kind of fine. They're just bolting the Wondergore, and then they're going to block this crab. Alright. Yeah, they should have 2 in case they have a Proliferate. So the Smell Fear does it, Longstalk does it as well. So I guess maybe I was just playing too scared there. I can't help playing conservative. I feel like always these decks always have like just the right card, you know? Just a forest. Well, we got to attack. This Ren's Resolve. Just another Ren's Resolve. Pretty good. Attack for 5. I'm probably a bit too conservative. I'm just assuming that with the mono red, like they're the beatdown here. But really in this space, like we're the beatdown, we have more life. Okay, that's a bold statement because we could have just had the Morbid, the Howl in our hand, or the Snakeskin Veil or something like that, you know. We got a Ren's Resolve. Man, Trample's good. Turns out Trample is a good card. I mean, that into a Bushwhacker, don't get me wrong. It's good stuff. Into a Ren's, okay. Look at Mountain, like, we hit Percussionist. I mean, more blockers. They need 5 though, otherwise they're cooked. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, still not enough blockers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have to block with everything here. I'm feeling pretty good about a 5/8 just getting there, to be honest. Like we're on 16. 3, 4, 5, 6. Alright, well, we're definitely playing that. And we're proliferating. That's what we need to do. Done. Proliferate. Dunzos. Let's get him for 6. I can imagine them picking them up here because it's like you have to block with everything. And then all things are lethal next turn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, and we have it's a 6/9, so they lose everything. Yes, they have a percussionist. We will still block with the Vorak. Yeah. There's no way they can deal 15 in a turn, especially if doing a range resolve. They need a lot. Crab, good. Crab is good. And maybe like the grafting's good as well. They're not running lava darts in the deck. I think it's just like our creatures can outgrade them pretty quick. Maybe we just cut some Smell Fears. Actually, maybe keep the Smell Fears, sorry. I think the spiders are fine to have. And then we cut some of the Longstalks because we're just trading for like another 1/1. But at least the other spell proliferates. It doesn't give them anything extra. Yeah, let's do that. I'm happy keeping like 1 or 2 in, you know, just for a bit of crowd control, but outside of that, we mean business. Yeah, this hand's just good. We can just go Experiment 1 into Crawler. Probably even to... We want to play the Sun Shower first. If we play another 1-drop, that'll be good. They mull, we'll keep. It's a very, very healthy hand, to be honest. But we are all 5, that's rough. I just feel like notoriously in history, mono red struggles with the Timmy decks that just have here's the creatures, you know, you're getting in. I mean, that's a 2/2, that's pretty good. But our Experiment 1 will be a 2/2 soon. We gain a life off this Druid as well. It's the little things, not Vorak, okay. I might be more inclined now to play the Dust Gel Crawler just so they can't get in with this Tomb Raider. The rally decks, you know, if they... You know, it's not too bad. That's not too bad at all. I'm kind of keen to draw another 1-drop here that gives a counter. Okay, Hunger's not that good. Let's just play the Crawler. Put a counter on the Crawler so it can block something. And then I think we still attack. They've got 2 cards left. And if they want to burn a bolt on a dust shell and a human soldier, that's fine with me. Like 1.5 cards. Otherwise, we're going to play a Vorak next turn and proliferate. We could just honestly take it all and then just proliferate. I think we win this game over time. You game for 6, got 2 cards left. Sorry, Miko's a little bit laggy. I mean, we're on 7, they've got 2 cards left. I think now, let's play the Druid. We'll put a counter on it itself. And then we really, we'll attack for 2, keep back the Crawler. And then hopefully we can just use this Life Goes On. I might even use this Life Go On as just a way to, not for 8. If we can power off 8, if they just do like a Bushwhacker and then get in, then that's fantastic. We'll do something with that, but... Another Synthesizer. Well, that's like the worst flip to get. Let's play another one. Okay. I think we, I kind of just want to do everything here. Just Life Goes On up to 12. Yeah, what else do they have to synth the range resolve? They can Gale Blast now as well. I kind of want to play this. And then I want to Howlpack onto this Experiment 1. I know it doesn't feel that great, but I want to play this Vorak and Proliferate next turn. And then they basically need to triple Gale Blast us. Yeah, so let's just play the Vorak. I think we need to get into business now, so we'll attack with the like the crawler and the experiment one. And then next turn we can get him with everything. Which should be like a level of Dunzos, you know? Because a Bushwhacker Gale Blast doesn't do it. Burning Tree into rallies, not the greatest either. They'll have to attack with everything. Chain Lightning that's pretty good. And we just block that one. Take 2. Got 1 card left. So if we just put it as 5, yeah, it's lethal. So we'll just play our creature and proliferate. Yep, there we go. All right. All right, so first thing you need to look at with these decks is, do we have the green Thirst to get a basic? But we don't. This hand is so close. They're keeping 7. I think we mull. I think having 2 lands is just too important here. Well, we keep this because we've got a Thirst now. And let's get rid of... Oh, it'll probably be the Brawl to be honest. Oh, let's get rid of the Smell Fear. I'm gonna risky for the Vicky. Play this. Reason being is if we draw a 1-drop, then we can just play that instead. Oh, we're playing against Gates again. Oh, alright. I don't think we're gonna get lucky again this time round because our hand is a lot slower. So let's just go Druid. And honestly, I hope we just draw our Forest here because we're going to be pretty cooked anyway. People are loving this Naya deck, don't get me wrong. It's a good deck. It's hard to beat for us. Into a Rumble, and we'll lay hit. 4 cards. Oh, hello, they're playing this version. But we do hit a land. We are going to just play a Spider. And attack for 1, and we're likely, if we don't draw another land, we're going to play Thirsting Roots into another Spider, and then Vorak, and then Smell Fear, etc, etc. We have to worry about the 2/3 though. That could come down here. We can't beat that. Can't beat that card. And this Smell Fear gets a lot worse with Prismatic Strands, so we have to be mindful of that. They're likely, I think they picked up they chose Cliff Gate, so they're obviously going to be picking up a land here. 1 and a white. Probably just playing the field medic. No, they're just charming. Wow. And playing tap land. I mean, they've got some pretty... That's just a wild graveyard to see. Like a red, white, and a blue, black, and, you know. Alright, we are going to be... Cast this to get a forest. We'll play a forest. Play the forest. It's attack for 1. I can imagine they're not blocking this. It's a shame because the Spider's so good with the Wondergore. And then if we draw a forest next turn... Yeah, I mean, because it comes in with counters on it, so this will get a counter. We want to probably leave the Contagious Vorak until we know. I guess we could... Nah, I still want to proliferate with it. Journey to Nowhere. That's so mean. Alright, so we do have to bring in some Glamours. Look at this for crowd control. Holy moly. Alright. Definitely back to where we started, eh? So Proliferate doesn't do that much. Smelling Fear doesn't do that much. I think what we do, we obviously play the land. Just play this Aquastrand. They go. Oh no, we can actually. Yeah. Let's. This fights this. Right, and let's proliferate. Almost press the F6 button there. Proliferate those. That goes away. Do fight, and let's get in for twosies, eh? And the next turn, hopefully we can just Vorak. Proliferate everything again. Bob's your uncle. The thing is, they can just play, like, there's lots of things that they can play that can just cook us. So this gets a Sneaky Snacker, so getting a trampling creature would be ideal at some point. Then getting a Sacred Cat here would be, we're saying no to this. Then getting a Sacred Cat here would be pretty debilitating, or another Field Medic. And we just on a clock anyway. We can just gate this up and just, you know, be attacking for a fair bit every turn. Another journey. Yikes. This is what I mean with like counters, is that we don't really get anything good back after the fact. Okay, well let's just proliferate this. I'm inclined to not go crazy on the Thirsting Roots yet. Like, we're really just getting an extra point in, so I'd rather kind of save it to at least get 2 extra power or something like that, or get a counter on this Contagious, this Boar. Definitely want relics for this matchup. In cutting some level of smell, I mean, I think we just kind of removal. The Declavers aren't that nice. We probably want to run 3 again and 4 relics. Oh, Chrysalis is gross. There's another reason to... I don't think we can beat this hand, to be honest. We've done our chips, I think. The fact that's going to be a 5-6, that stresses me out. Alright, deck, what do you got for me? Yeah, double Thirsting Roots. Let's just go to a game 2. Again, how many... Let me check how much, from a Gates perspective, they're running. Six running around so much. Oh my gosh. Yeah, they're running Chrysalises, 4 Prismatic Strands main deck. Yeah, yikes. Only 2 journeys though. They're not running the they have Guardians in the sideboard, but they're not running any form of the life gain effect outside the Field Medic. So I think what we do is you just bring in these then. And then the snake skins don't do much. I think we just cut. I mean, these have a better payoff. Maybe we just do cut off the long stalks and see how that goes. It feels absolutely festy though. Absolutely festy. We proliferate first as well, so that's the other thing. It's actually quite an awkward hand. We actually mull this hand because of that. We'll keep this bottom of forest. Use the power of these Lorwyn forests. But again, I really don't like my chances here. They do only run 2 journeys, and they did find the 2 journeys there. Like a Knight of the Wondergore could have really done a lot there. And the good thing about the Knight is when we play it, this Experiment 1 gets the counter, then it puts a counter on the Knight, and then hopefully we can just play, you know, a creature after that. Thirsting Roots, bada bing, bada boom, baby. And we're only really using this hunger when probably they're sacking like an Eldrazi spawn or something, to be honest. But hopefully they don't just go Journey to Nowhere / Bolt, which they don't run Bolt. Oh, they do run 4 Lightning Bolts and Charms. This is tough. Field Medic, okay. Well, we will still attack with both. I mean, actually, we'll just play this other Knight of the Wondergore, to be honest. Sorry, you should have played it before anyway. Yeah, blocking that. And then on our turn, we can probably just proliferate with the Thirsting Roots and then attack everything. Make a 4-3, make a 5-3. Oh, yeah, 4-2, a 5-3. Not bad. Not terrible, not bad. And then hopefully we can get something out of this Hunger of the Howl pack. They do have the combo here, like they got the gate out. Yeah, they have to journey 1. See if they have a land though to back things up here. They do. Okay, which means a Christmas can come in next turn. So what I kind of want to do is actually use this hunger as like a Then we play this, put the counter on this, so it will survive, and then we attack with these 2. They can block here, and I think we actually howl, so they're not getting in with, yeah, and then we sadly use this as a combat trick. Made it look like we had a play mistake, but now they're not going to just, they won't just tap their gates and just get in for $1 billion here, you know? And then next turn we can go Thirsting Roots, Proliferate. The Sunshower Druid's a bit wonky donkey here, but yeah. What are they playing? Oh, yep. Very good. Excellent choice. At least we should be able to... I mean, we will play this Forest. We can just attack with everything. We will Proliferate. Go first. Get everything going. Get those engines roaring, you know. It's another counter. It's got trample as well. We'll attack with everything. This, because of its second ability, they can't actually block it either. It says creatures with power less than this creature can't block it. Now they kind of have to use a Strands next turn. Comes in with a counter, can't be blocked. We're looking semi-okay now. Semi-okay. They can still play Chrysalis here and that can cook us, but an Armadillo Cloak would be very sad. You can really have a lot of things here. Yeah, Chrysalis. That is a good hit. So we really want to draw a Smelfear here now, to be honest. Or a Dusk Shell. Forest is not what we want. I don't think we can do anything here. I don't think we can even attack. Because what? They just block. They can double block this. They lose a Chrysalis and they keep their 2/3. Yeah, it's such an unfavorable block. So they just go block, and then that blocks like with that or whatever. They can block that. Yeah, we just have to pass until we find something, which is not good. Does not bode well if they can untap and just have something else going. Yeah, a Proliferate effect would have been nice-ish. Getting undo to a 5/5. Yeah, 5/5 and a 7/6. They still got a double blocked it though. And our Ravencharm can cook the Knight. I've been very impressed with this Knight though. You know, if we had the second one, it's even better, but alas. Alright, there's the Sacred Cat. So this is where things can pull away now. I mean, right with Proliferate is nice. But they just charm this, I think. Yeah, yikes. Alright, they have us officially now. We did try our hardest, but alas, you know, just giving these 2 counters aren't going to cut the mustard. Maybe if we get it like it, then we've got 2 cards left. Maybe if we draw like a Smelfear for this Wrathing Chrysalis and they have literally nothing else. Maybe. But the fact that they can almost double pump it, which is cooked. Yeah, it's just an 11/11 with lifelink. That's nuts. Yep, we'll just take it. Yeah, 2 lands. That's alright. It was a good try anyway. Let's go into another one. Alright, this is actually a really good curved hand. It's a little bit land heavy though, but the fact that we can just go Experiment 1 into Dusk Shell. Oh, is this Fog? Please don't be Fog. If we just draw a mono non-lands, we go Experiment 1 into Dusk Shell into Vorak, and we're looking okay. And just make sure we evolve first and then Proliferate. Okay. I don't hate the hungers. Put a counter on the dust shell, so proliferate gets better. In for twosies. Alright, 18. Okay, they're playing the Tron deck. Well, it feels a tad slower. Let's still play the... I mean, they probably have like a counter spell here, to be honest. Yep. Oh, they're just not cycling an Ent. Okay, they can cycle an Ent. That's fine with me. But they're probably... First one on, last one off. Do the evolve first. Done. Bing. Bong. And yeah, attack for 6. As far as hands go, good hand. And then we almost have lethal. Almost. Oh, Vorak. Well, that's pretty good. Let's play Vorak. Do one here. Anyway, I smell fogs in our distant future here. That's what I'm trying to say. This is very grim for us. We are just going to chuck a counter. I should have done this first, but let's just try and get there with the Hunger of the Howl pack. Yep. Alright, well, let's attack every turn. Hopefully that's enough, but I don't think it will be. This looks like it's going to be the teachings build. The crop rotation, get the... yeah. So we need to bring Relic in this. This is probably not a good matchup because we don't have any Flaring Pains, which is definitely what we need. But at least we, you know, we'll like... Turn 4, lethal. Alright, Thirsting Roots, let's just attack with everything. Probably not with that though, to be honest. Just in case they have a Tangle or something like that. Yep, flash it back. Fair enough. We'll just hold on to everything. I mean, they had the Vegeta Bog, but I'm not sure if they have any black sources. Alright, they're making us spawn, but we can give everything Trample. Very likely they have another Fog effect though, anyway. So we just attack with everything. We'll play the Forest in case they have some weird Condescend stuff that we need to play around, even though they got 6 mana. Let's attack if it's a Weather. Moment's Peace. Alright, pass. Yeah, we just churn through it. That's what we'll do. Okay, they must have a filter though, otherwise they can be cooked. Okay. My Kingdom for a Flaring Pain in green right now. These fog decks have been going around. Even at my locals, people have been playing a lot of fog. There's no point smelling fear. We just attack with everything. All right. We're not even going to get to the rest of the shenanigans. We'll save the smell fear in case they do. They play just like a gigantic creature. It's going to keep playing this card. Heaps of mana, heaps of cards in their hand. They've drawn half their deck. So I can imagine they've gone through 2 fogs, but they're going to have more fogs as well. I think in this case we do actually just use like 1 Thirsting Roots just so we can attack with these 3. They're just mindful of Tangle now, you know. Oh, they're prohibiting that. Okay. Still want to keep that around. Let's just attack with everything again. Was it 5, 8? maybe technically still doing a small field is correct. We could save a fog here. How much is this? This is 4, 8, 9, 10. No, it's not enough. So I might actually just take this. Maybe should have smell feared and then didn't have to work through a fog. No, because they sack it in response. But then we had the hunger then. It forces them to use. I just know that they have like more fogs in their hand. That's the thing. We'll just cut the smell fears and the all the fight. We'll just cut all the fight spells, bring the relics and the deglammers, and just see how that goes. They could also like not draw their fogs. Yeah. This gets. I mean, they've been through all their impulsing. It makes me think that they, if that's the case, then because they could play the thing that draws 3 cards. Wouldn't you rather just draw 3 cards though? Okay, they obviously don't have the other fog, so maybe we were actually able to win that potentially. Sometimes you just got to be lucky to that extent. We're gonna smell fear this elemental though, because they have to fog us. Just have like, I guess this, fight this. They might just want to fog here as well. There's not much we could have done about that. Anyway, here you go. Counters, counters, counters. Let's just attack. If they fogged there, they would have been fine. Because it's fighting. Got 5 cards. Mostly flickering some lands. After mystical teachings, okay. Like I think that, don't get me wrong, I think we can be very still cooked here. Again, there's no real point of attacking, so just pass. Yes, maybe we actually do play like a dust shell crawler. But on, in case they like have some rolling thunder effects where they just rolling thunder everything, and then we could hunger and get him for 2. I think we definitely need. Yeah, just keep getting that back. Do they? I'm honestly going to play it out. Reason being is that we might just run into. Like, I assume they have a campfire, so they don't actually get cooked that much. But they've already used 2, so they have one more, probably 2 more moments pieces. I don't know, someone was on something to give this card flashback. See what Tron version it's in, And this is flashbacked to reveal mystical teachings. Okay. I think we're pretty cooked here now with the pulses and whatnot. I run a lot of elementalists, that's for sure, and to get the ghostly flicker. But like it's more. yeah, you can semi. There's like probably some level of like some infinite going ons, but what's the actual spell that? I mean, they probably don't even have that, to be honest. Let's just I kind of just want to concede here. I'm just going to concede. They have a pretty well defined lock here with multiple ghostly flickers and doing this to their creatures. So our removal spells aren't actually that good here. Let's just bring in the relics because they seem very good. We need a light disruption and just a fast clock is how we're going to win this game. There's no really good things about it. Their creatures appear to be just that one creature. So we are going to cut the long stalks and the smell fears. Probably just keeping one smell fear. I mean, we could take them all out and then put a snake skin in. Let's just keep one in. All right, see how we go. On the draw, I'm actually kind of into this, which sounds crazy, but I think multiple relics is actually fine. I don't think they can handle 3 relics. We still will go Sun Shower into Sun Shower, I think, and then play all our other relics. Because these relics, they'll just be exiling their whole graveyard. And I don't think they can come back from that. Because their deck just like really revolves around that. Like using teachings and stuff like that. And we can get one down now. They might have prohibit for another relic. We'll still put this on this one. Attack for 1. Play relic. And just make sure we're using it every turn. I don't think I want to use it on that though. I want to play this Wonderful. That's what I want to play. Even though it's not that good here. We need a clock. We need a clock. They've got Tron now. I think we want to deglamour the ornament. I think they're going to tap the ornament. And then we can deglamour it. So we will attack. So this is cool because I think how it's read is actually we can attack. We can actually deglamour it and they won't draw a card. Because it goes in the stack and they realize they don't have an ornament. So we can kind of waste their turn, I think. If that's what they want to do. I think it's fine for them to take 4. It's probably not the end of the world, really. So I'm hoping we can just eat away their graveyard and they can't really shuffle back and do much, you know? They need their graveyard. I think having multiple relics just solves the problem. If they decide to prohibit this, I think we're actually playing the other relic. Then they can't Bonder's Ornament here. Okay, that resolves. Let's choose 1. And then we'll deglamour this ornament and step when they go for a draw. Sorry, more. And then they shouldn't draw one here, I don't think, because they don't own an ornament anymore. That felt pretty good. That felt pretty good. Alright, there's another ornament. Yeah, they have to draw stuff now. So I think now, I mean, they can't prohibit. We really need to draw. We just like it, not spell's fine. Put a counter on this. Now All-Mate gets a counter. Get in with them all. Then hopefully we can pitch for some amount of lethal soon. Here's my 3rd Relic of Progenitus, and I've never cracked them because I think I need all this crowd control, to be honest. It's everything. This is all I have. I have nothing left. No more spells. 6. Yeah, we don't have lethal. A Proliferate spell would be nice. So they can start burning through that. Simply just draw all your sideboard. That's all you need to do. I think this can still be very cooked here, don't get me wrong. They're just playing a Genocent, Jesus. Alright. I mean, don't get me wrong, that's hard to beat. We have to work around that now. Oh, so close. So what if we put a counter on? This Melfi is very close to working here. Up to 1. We could just proliferate and not fight. Let's cycle 1 relic. Try and get a bit of meat onto the board, I say. That is not meat on the board. Quite the opposite. I think we are still proliferating here. Let's get 2 more counters on this knight and try and get through that way eventually. Because another proliferate spell does that. That's why I'm doing it here. Instead of 2 other relics. Alright, let's put it on everything. 1, 2, 3, 4. Get a counter, and we'll just pass a turn. It's really hard with 2 relics to do anything from a combo perspective. They have to fill up the graveyard a lot, essentially. This is good. I think we chuck this on Dusk Shell now. Because then, yeah, it still can't cook in just yet. But now if we go to proliferate, we can attack with both. They also have multiple fogs. I think we're going to time in this matchup, to be honest. I think I'll try and just shorten out this matchup with all the shenanigans. And they're probably going to get into prohibit territory soon, I can imagine. Yeah, we'll play this. Wonder Gauls are good. Yep, draw 2. Oh, sorry, draw 1. Yep. Not much we can do about that. Enough auto yields here. That obviously happens, and then we have to get rid of it. I think if we have infinite time, I think we're still cooked. Just playing that as a 2-1. I guess probably just setting up. Ephemerate 1 is not a good card. We will do that, because we can't even evolve it with that. I think we can just expect to get just a bigger board and then start cracking in with everything. Kind of wish we had that 3rd relic now to work through things. I'm not attacking just yet. An ornament. We can very much just set up a... Like, they will do this. We will tap it down, but they can kind of use one of our relics. Yeah. And it's kind of fine. You can have that back if you want to. Like, it's good, don't get me wrong. They decided not to. They could have just played one though. And just, yeah, I guess they're going the Ent route now, which is a fair cop, really. And weather, yeah. Good spell. Good spell. That's a lot of mana. We'll see how it just plans out. It's interesting seeing how Ephemerate Tron goes. They can have weather back. I think with these relics we can come up the board and set up a way for them just to deck themselves. Because if they run Campfire, obviously not. We just need to fight over whatever spell they have that makes them not deck themselves. Because I think we can gum up the board fairly well, unless they run literally like 1 Fire Blast effect. You know what I mean? They do run Rolling Thunder. They run 1 Rolling Thunder, so that could probably do it, to be honest. And just, yeah, so I guess they can cook us with just a giant one of those. I'm just doing this twice. So 3, 6, 9, 2, 4, 6, 8, 17. I can't imagine taking out the Rolling Thunder. I think we probably just concede anyway in this one as well, because they literally just win with the Rolling Thunder. I'm just going to concede because they win with Rolling Thunder. We're not getting through. They won't deck themselves in time. They'll play literally all their lands and then cook us. All right, 5th and final round. Let's give this a crack. This is actually not keepable. No creatures. Saying good luck, have fun. Let's mull this one. I will keep this. I'm honestly probably going to get rid of probably this one, to be honest, because we're going to be going like land. And we're on the play as well. We're going land experiment 1, and then we're going thirsting roots experiment 1, and then Knight of Wondergore. Get the tokens. All right, play against Bogles, which makes the smell feel really not that good. Let's go get a land. See, we're okay kind of if they just don't have life gain, which they can. I'll attack. I'm happy to take the trade, to be honest. Wasn't expecting the trade there. All right, so the lands are a little bit lacking here. But if they just go Spirit Link, it's not good for us. Ethereal Armor. And I wonder if they'll just crack in. They probably should. 3 damage is pretty good. But again, like, we can match this. We can match this. So now we can go Wondergore. Well, probably Wondergore next turn. Always yield, always yield. And obviously we're running Deglammers. Yeah, we can essentially win this race as long as they are not playing that card. Because that is a 6 damage lifelink. It's going to be very hard to get through that. Alright, deck. Longstalk is not going to cut the mustard. I think what we're doing as well is we're probably just playing the Servant of the Scale. So we can... There's trample as well, though. That is also a problem. We're pretty cooked, basically. We're only really attacking for 2 here. This is an Ancestral Mask. Ay. I'm just concede here. Can't beat that. Let's bring the Deglammers. We have to leave the Deglammers for literally Armadillo Cloak or the Spirit. Bring in just these 4. Hell, we're probably even just bringing in these Snakeskin Veils and just taking out all the long stalks. Maybe we keep in like 2 Smelters because they technically they're better than Snake Veil because I guess they can proliferate everything. So we just run you back in. At least they have a Lord effect. You know what I mean? It doesn't bode well. Look, I'll still keep this. I think we have to kind of max into stuff, but we'll go Experiment 1 into Wondergore, and then hopefully you can play the Grafter. Do some grafting. At least it's nice, quick, you know, we'll find out if we win or not. My hope is we just go into, okay, we just get a Deglammer for their life link and call it a day. That's what I want in my life. Our Knight of Wondergore can get absolutely cooking big, like really. Yield through these again. Alright, in for 2. And then next turn, we definitely play the Spider, I think, still. The Spider, because all the creatures following that is going to allow us to do all our other things. And hopefully just draw a Deglammer along the way. Okay, they get mana but no creature, I guess. So we are going to play this. Yeah, and just play the Sun Shower. It's the same thing, we just put a counter on here. We won't graft. Counter happens. Then we come. And then even if they go creature with Ethereal Armor, we can go just Contagious Vorak. Put a counter on it, proliferate. Oh, they're playing the Naya version. Oh, that's fine. This is better for us. They run the cloak and like chrysalises and stuff. I played this version before. So we will play the land. I didn't realize they were playing this version. This does mean oops, sorry. Yeah, that's the last one off. And we'll graft. So Bob happens first. And then we'll graft onto, I think, probably the boar. I think we do want to do that. And then we don't want to land. We want to proliferate everything. Good. And then we'll attack with just these two. And then next turn, I'm hoping we can just chuck on even with lifelink. Oh, we had lethal. sorry. I didn't think we had lethal there. I wasn't expecting that. Even if they have the cloak, I think we have lethal. To be honest, yeah, my bad. You see, we can go wide. So these smell fears actually don't feel that terrible. We got 4 anyway. I still don't want to run the long stalks. All right, maybe we can pull this back. Actually, maybe we can pull this back. Them going Bogle into Armadillo Cloak, Ethereal Armor, is not where we want to be. That's better. This hand is slower, but I think because we have the Deglamour, we'll keep it, and then we have a way to get rid of a bigger creature if they have that. The Smell Fear. And we're on the draw anyway, so we might just draw a 1-drop just to suffice everything, you know what I mean? Alright, we didn't. Hopefully we just make this Knight of Wondergore huge, and then we have no problems. Cartouche is fine, because we can Spell Fear the token. Lifelink's the key though, so we'll play this Wondergore. Slow start. And then the 1-drop's key. I do want to play. Ethereal Armor's fine. We can still fight that, you know. First strike. Okay. Come on, give me a 1-drop. Not another Wondergore. I think we have to play the Grafter now. The other thing is we can just de-glamour something. We really do need to just get this Wondergore going though. Very awkward. If we had a 1-drop, we could at least block something. We've got 2 cards left. We obviously take this. Nothing else. I wonder what they have. So, I think we want to attack with both. I think they take this. They should take this. Untap it, eh? Pretty good. Now we have to de-glamour that. Okay, so Death Type First Strike is really awkward now. So I was thinking we could hunger up the Howl Pack, but what we could do is just. I wonder if they have another one of these though. Only got 1 card left. Let me just work out what I want to do here. So I think we can cook this in a later turn. We are on a low amount. We could shuffle this Cartouche away. And then they can block each other. And then I can put counter on this if I need to. I think that's what I actually have to do. The Death Touch is a bit annoying though. Let me just let it happen. I guess I was meant, no, sorry, because it goes to a 2/2. I was meant to put a counter on that, sorry. And then it survives. Just let that happen. One card left. So now we could figuratively play this. I mean, we are an 8 though. They can just absolutely make this thing a chonker. Sorry, we could have the first strike damage, so we could have gone the other artifact in there. Gosh, I feel rusty with my combat damage today. I'm on 5 now. Yucks. Can we get land? Thirst. Thirst is interesting. I could play a Vorak this turn. And then try and cop a land. Play the land. And then if they don't play another spell, we can put a counter on that and then cook them, which I think they will. But if they just draw a land, then we're fine. All right, they didn't draw just a land. I think we do block this though in case they have another one of those Gift of the Vipers. What is going on here? Oh, this is a crazy game. I've got a Cross Shock now. Land? Dusk Shell, okay. We're pretty close to being cooked here. I think we still play this. Put a counter on itself. And then we just have to pray and block the warrior go to 1. But I realized that they wouldn't have had the warrior if I played properly. That's the thing. Alright, well the Rancor does it, which is very sad. We'd have to block both. So I really, if I had that other land, I block that. 3 go to 2, I block that, it's 2. GG's. I did screw up there. I really did. If I played the Hunger of the Howl Pact, then we would have kept the Aquastrand Spider. Yeah, that was too close. Oh, well, let's do a quick wrap up. Alright, so just a quick wrap up. So here was the deck. I really did like this deck. It plays a lot more in those combat tricky kind of style. So I felt like, I mean, it was kind of bad beats in that last round. I realized I could have equalized and then had something else for that Banner Hide. With the Smelfie. I think we actually could have gone there if I thought about the combat one those last couple turns. So this deck did have a bit more play to it than I thought. But I was honestly really impressed by the Knight of Wundagore. You do really have to play it on turn 2 to get everything out of it. I feel like outside of that, it can just be kind of crap. It's not a great top deck in that late game. Everything else kind of works well. You might want some level of like, I mean, we do have a fair bit of trample anyway, but I think having access to the Bushmaster, I think is a good shout. Probably even just cutting maybe 1 or 2 spiders, because you only really want 1 spider, I think, to really get the Knight of Wundagore going. So that way, you know, your Experiment 1 has Death Touch, you know, the fight spells have Death Touch. I think that's a big upgrade. I think this list came out before the Bushmaster dropped, so you probably cut some of the Aquastrand spiders. Outside of that, I'm happy with the sideboarding as well. The Snakeskin Bowls you probably don't need as much. Green doesn't have anything that prevents damage, and I feel like this meta right now is pretty crazy. Like a lot of people are still playing the Naya Gates soup deck and just Basilisk gating a cat or a field medic just to survive, because there's lots of Rally Red out there. This deck, I feel, does prey on the Rally Red deck. We just outgrow them pretty quickly, and then when we're ready, we can start getting in with our Tramplers. So I guess that's why they're only running 3 Life Goes On and not just having a full play set. You probably just need something more for the Gates and the Prismatic Strand variants. Yes, we have Relic of Progenitus, but I think you just kind of need something a little bit extra to fight through that. Don't know what that is. I would have to have a bit of a think about it. And I could even potentially see just cutting the Servant of the Scales. It didn't feel as good for something else. Maybe even cutting that and then just putting in, because we already got like 4. Probably even cutting the Servant Scales, just running 4 of the Sun Showers and 4 of the Skug and Pit Sculpts are fine. And then running some Bushmasters at the top end, I think is good as well, because that still turns on this as well. and the fighting starts with Death Touch. Anyway, let me know what you think, and I'll see you in the next one.